All right, now this is an interesting video that I didn't think I would be doing because I did a quick, maybe 2 or 3 minute video asking the question, does Candace deserve to be First Lady? Because there are some die-hard Candace Young fans out there who feel like Candace deserves to be swept off her feet by Charles, take up his offer to be First Lady, have a happily ever after, erase her past, and go on from there. But in my mind, I feel like that's probably one of the most undeserving characters of such treatment on the show, in my opinion. And people were asking me like, well, you asked that question, you should be asking, why does Charles, or why should Charles deserve to be president of the United States? He doesn't have a clean background himself based off what he told Landon in a previous episode, which honestly, I don't even know how much I take that at value, because remember, I think that was the same episode where Landon walked in on Candace and Charles together, and really is like, sir, we need to go immediately because there was a shooting, a young boy was killed. This was talking about the shooting that took place at the motel, and Quincy Jr. was the one that was shot. So for political platform purposes, it's like, hey, go down there, let's talk about guns, gang violence, and protecting the youth, because it'll make you look good for the campaign. Similar to how Maggie Day wanted Jim and David to go to the funeral of little Lizzie to look sensitive to the voters, as opposed to all the other political candidates who are announcing a run for governor but not hearing the cries of the people. So pretty much Landon is the new Maggie Day. But the reason I say take that at face value is because you know how Landon was trying to warn Charles, like, hey, she's bad news, I think you should stay away from her. It's like, so you don't know about me. It's like my past, I'm just as dirty as she is. And then it's like, well, what are your concerns with me and this woman anyway, when I can tell you're probably the type that's not into women. So in that episode, you know, Charles pretty much sniffed out, if you would, that Landon isn't into women. Yet now it's like he's oblivious to that, and Landon being closer to him, like it all started with the whole let me take off your shoes, which honestly, that's kind of like, okay, but he was able to make a good point in terms of, sir, if you win the White House, you will have to be used to people waiting on you hand and foot. Like, I don't know how the presidency works in terms of what happens behind the White House closed doors. Like, are there food testers? Are there people who get the president dressed in the morning? I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, he did make a good point. Like, if Landon was being truthful, then that was a very good way of sliding past the whole, oh, I'm gay for you kind of thing, because that assistant pointed out to Landon, like, look, Charles is not gay and you have a terrible poker face. He's going to know you're coming on to him. And yeah, that's pretty much what's going on, except it seems like Charles is getting closer to Landon, like, look, it's kind of lonely being in the position I'm in, and I can use a friend. And, you know, that's pretty cool. But at the same time, it's creepy because, you know, Landon wants more than that. So, yeah, I don't know. But, I mean, there have been some dirty presidents in the White House. I mean, everybody has. Come on now. So, people who say that Charles deserved to be president, I mean, like, I'm not really a politics guy myself, but, you know, the first presidents, you know, were slave masters at one point or another, or excuse me, had slaves of their own. Then you have, you know, the Watergate scandal, and then the Monica Lewinsky thing, and one of the Bushes who didn't like broccoli. I'm sorry, broccoli is one of my favorite vegetables. So for a president to not like broccoli, you know, I got some questions. Then you got, you know, Obama, you know, hey, I'm black, Obama, awesome. I mean, I'm not going to lie, though, I wasn't a big fan of the whole same-sex bathroom thing. Like, I wasn't big on that. But then you got Trump in there, and he's getting stuff done, but at the same time, it's like there's a lot of scrutiny along with his you know, time in office that's still going on today. So take that for what you will. Like, I'm not using this video to get into a political debate. I'm not that guy. Like, I'm not saying that in terms of, oh yeah, I'm not the guy you better mess with. It's just that I don't really get into debates like that. The channel is not for that. It's not for that. Maybe on a podcast if I start one, but not today. But yeah, let me know in the comments below. Do you think Charles deserves to be in the White House? I mean, to make it fair, we haven't seen his political opponents or what their platforms are or what party they're with. So I couldn't really tell you if Charles deserves to be in the White House or not. All I can say is if he wins, he wouldn't be the first president with a past that has won the election. I'm just going to leave it at that. So in the comments below, let me know your thoughts. Do you think Charles deserves to win the White House?